All right, hello, everybody.
Trying to fix my lighting over here.
Let's get situated. We are going to be having a really good talk today. We're going to be on YouTube on Average Black Girl. We're in the Facebook on Danielle Mitchell, and then we're in my membership group, Marketing Makes Sense Accountability Group. And so we're there as well. And then we're going to hop on live on Instagram and just hit them all at the same time. And so I'm going to be on Danny So Fancy, and then Maisha is on her Instagram, which is, what is your Instagram again? Uh-oh, you're muted.
Maisha Jahan.
Okay. So let's go live there, and you can join my live. Okay, I'm live on Instagram now.
And Danny So Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know how the sound is going to be.
There we go.
Okay.
Just waiting for you.
Yeah, I don't know this.
Okay, so no, we're not going to be on Instagram. We're just going to be on Facebook Live and YouTube. So no worries. Okay, so let's get into it. So everyone, I am committed to going live more in 2020. So I'm excited to be bringing on people that I know that I knew and to me that I'm connected with. And Maisha is one of the people that I would say is like one of my accountability partners. We definitely talk and go over business stuff. And so we both wanted to talk about how 2021 is going to be different. 2021 is going to be better. And 2021 is going to be a situation where we are really focusing on our relationship with God and how that is going to help us to get to the next level. And I know a lot of my friends are faith-based. I know Maisha has a faith-based community. And so this would be the perfect person to hop on here and talk about that. So Maisha, and she has a baby. So if you hear baby noises, it is okay. We are at home. And it is fine. That is not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Danielle. Excited for this conversation today. So yeah, like really digging deeper into connecting with God and how we're going to use that in 2021. So I guess, we can jump in. Danielle, if you want to talk a little bit more about so how have you connected with God recently and what are you doing this year to make sure that you connect more?
Yes. So what I struggle with, and this may be talking to a lot of people, I feel like I know a lot of things, right? I know a lot of things. I've taken a lot of courses. I do a lot of research. I really kind of identify with being like a nerd. And so what God has implemented on me and what I need to do is execution. Like I have to get it out. Like even today's live, like I woke up at 7, like I'm gonna do this. Texting Maisha at 7, like we're still doing this. And the old me may have said, yesterday was really traumatic. I'm gonna take a day off and blah blah blah. But what I did instead was I did not be glued to the TV. I actually went to sleep watching a Disney movie. And I was in a really great place where I wasn't overwhelmed when I woke up. So now it's like, well, what's important for 2021? And every time that I talk to people, they're like, well, we want to hear more of your story, or we want to hear more of you. And so that is me pushing myself out there, taking time to push myself and my voice. I know that that is what is on my that's what's been on my heart. I know that's the way to go. I know that God was telling me to do that last year, and I feel like I definitely showed up, but now it's to another level. So I wake up early, and that's where I have my quiet time. That's where I'm able to really kind of go throughout the day. And so today I uploaded my first coloring book, and it got approved immediately. And I had from last year, you're going to do 12 books this year. So one of 12 is done. That's my thing. I'm not really looking to the left or the right. This is what I'm focusing on this year. There'll always be another next year if there's more stuff, but this is going to help me to really get out there. I think a lot of people, we work on and we focus on creating, but we really struggle on selling and building that brand and building that messaging. And a lot of that has to do with consistency. And that's the word that's been put on my heart for this year. And to really, I talk about with everyone, it's like, you know what you know, but you got to get out of the people that already know you. And that it's a hard mold to break. It really is. But that only comes when you're talking to your, if nobody's showing up, you're still talking like you're talking to 100 people, but you're talking to yourself. Like that is the game. I've seen so many people grow and scale that way, and I know that that is on me. But I'm not just going up there and rambling. I'm taking a step back. What are we talking about? What are those steps? How can I include that? Those are things that, again, I can do during my quiet time. And that's where I'm able to really get the words and the things downloaded from God that He wants me to do this week and this month and in that day.
Yeah, I think you touched on a lot of stuff right there, but definitely people forget quiet time. Quiet time, that's where we get our power and we're reconnected. Like we need to recharge. Batteries can't go forever. They have to spend that time and reconnect with the source. And we have to spend that time and reconnect with the source. Jesus woke up early in the morning so he could have his quiet time with God before any else was awake. And I know it's really hard. I mean, I'm a mom. So I understand that you got to get up really early, but it's very important before distractions of the day, before you have all these things going on, to connect with your source, and your source gives you more power. And you highlighted some good things there. Can you talk a little bit more maybe about what you do in your morning quiet time? Give us your morning quiet time routine, and then I'll go through mine as well.
Yes, absolutely. So for me, I wake up when I'm ready. I don't use alarm clocks anymore. And that came with a lot of setting it first, right? I used to set it where I wanted to wake up early because I knew it was important. But now that I'm so used to it, I do it. Even when I was on vacation, like I still woke up early, and I appreciated that. I appreciate being able to have that me time and be able to just journal or whatever that looks like. So for me, I will light some candles. Sometimes it'll be maybe some meditation music. Sometimes it's gospel music. Sometimes it's just any type of music. So whatever I want to play that day, that's kind of what I use. I really, really like the meditation and the chakras because it's like nothing and I can just focus. Therefore, then I'll go ahead and I'll start the day depending on how I'm feeling with my flashcards. So I have entrepreneurship flashcards that I've made. And so I will go over them until I feel good, right? That's getting me up. Like I will generate $1 million with these. My works are being paid for, have abundantly. Like those are the things that I'm saying to myself to get myself in that mind, right? Because it's all about energy. After that, I will then take some time and just journal. So I have 2 journals right now that I really use. I use my manifestation journal, and then I use my prayer journal. But then I also have something that is like my bad thoughts journal. And so those are different. So the good stuff, I'm going through the things, whatever the prompts are going to be. I've actually created a manifestation journal and a prayer journal. So I use my own stuff because I think it's great. But the bad stuff, so if you have a bad thought, I call them like the negative voices in your head. I call them, fears. whatever those are, I get them out because it's obviously something, and sometimes it's rooted in realness. And so when I think of anxiety, when I think of procrastination, I think of those things as being fears. Something is stopping you from doing it. So I need to understand what is it that's stopping me. And then I'm able to really determine, is this something that I can outsource, or is it something that I need to work through? But there's an issue here, and me saying I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, after 3 days, that's procrastination, and I need to figure out what that issue is. So I'll go through those things. And then lastly, I'll just I have a big easel, and so if there's any things that I need to do for the month, then I'll write on there what I want to do. And so those are large things like understanding Samcart. It's a tool that I want to learn, so that's on there. I bought a course, so like going through this business credit course so I can understand, like, those are the things. And so not every day am I adding stuff to that list. That's just, again, through journaling and scripting, I will understand what's going on there. But I'm in the zone where the ancestors, God, all of those can come to me, and I can feel what I need to feel. I can release what I need to release. And I know at night what I want to start doing is doing my manifestations again, like I ams and things like that, to kind of ease the day. I'm in a 21-day mindset challenge, and that was one of the things that I wanted to do. And then the last thing is, I bought this thing on Amazon. It's like a galaxy projector. And so because I wake up so early, it's still dark out, I can turn it on, and it has like the whole ceiling being like different shades of blue or red or green. And so I really feel like that's a whole vibe. Like I put that on and I'm like really vibing out and able to really have that one-on-one time with God. And it's intentional, right? Intentionality is what it is. It's not something that you just do when you're going through something or when you want something. If you're constantly using that muscle, then you're constantly moving forward. Like in this last week, I've had a book released, I've had my website revamped, and those are huge tasks that I was working on. To the outside world, it's like, oh my God, this, so much is going on. But in reality, this is what day-to-day intention, day-to-day guides look like. Like I was emailing my designers while I was away, and there was nothing wrong with that. Like that was because I woke up early, I was able to do that and then still move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the 20-day mindset reset. So I'm in a 21-day fast right now. So I have a morning routine for that fast, but kind of similar to what my morning routine is now. I do have an alarm clock because, again, you hear my munchkin in the background, and I have to get up before her so I can have a little time to get things done myself. So I wake up around 5 a.m. I get up, I read my Bible, read my devotions, and then I journal around my devotions. And I have a very specific focus right now. So I have all my devotions and journaling are around a specific focus. So my focus right now is around forgiveness and fruits of the spirit. So that's my journal and focus around. And she thinks she's a part of conversation, so she wouldn't be. but yeah, so that's my journaling, and then I do a meditation. I do a guided meditation around what I journaled about. So I might do a guided meditation around gratefulness. And I just find those on YouTube, really.
Yeah.
I used to have like Calm, but those are very, very freeing to me. And journaling is so awesome. Like it's great you talked about that, because sometimes we need to get things out and we need to process them, and having them written down really helps us understand. I follow this woman called Sunshine and Gray. She's a Christian counselor, and she gives journaling prompts around different topics. And I kind of follow her and walk through those as well. And then the next thing I do is I work out. So I work out in the morning, and that's my time to, get healthy, get the blood flowing, all this stuff. So making sure that that's part of my routine, and that's me time as well, because the rest of the day after that is going to be, really focused around my daughter. And then my daughter wakes up, and one thing I do is I do affirmations with her. and then she has a playlist. So I play Michelle's playlist. So one of her favorite songs is Stevie Wonder's the Stevie Wonder song. I forgot the song. Oh, Isn't She Lovely? So that's her song.
Yeah.
Like, even Isn't She Lovely? And she starts dancing. And then I speak over her life. I say, Michelle, you're beautiful. You're wonderful. You can achieve everything you want. Mom is so happy to have you in my life. You're such an amazing addition to my life. I'm so glad what you're going to achieve today, and we're going to have a good day. And sometimes I skip that and I forget it, or, the day starts and then she's like fussy, and I'll stop and I'll do the song and the affirmations, and she automatically gets happy. That, like, that's her happy thing. So it's really important for both of us to be in a happy space and a happy mindset. And I feel like a lot of times, if you have multiple people in the house, you speak over yourself, but you don't speak over other people in the house. And then another thing I wanted to do, so and I really, really believe in affirmations, but also, if you're a Christian, speaking the promises of God. Because the thing is, God wrote these promises in a book, and you're reminding him of the promises. So a lot of people right now are going through challenging times in their finances. Things are different in a lot of people's households. And so go to the scripture and find the scriptures about provision and pray those and see how God will provide. One of my favorites is Matthew 5. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But Matthew 5. Nope, that's not it. But anyway.
I definitely agree. When I made my her prayer journal, I picked only Bible verses that were speaking over abundance, speaking over going and having the mindset to go and tackle things, making sure, speaking over like God's love for you, making sure that there was nothing but like prosperity and stuff. Like, yeah, there are other Bible verses of like going through things like that. But we definitely wanted to move away from like Job and all that. That is not the type of life that I'm speaking over myself and the people that we're looking for. We're looking for moving forward, for prosperity and things like that. And it is important to be reminded. So each page has a Bible verse like that for my stuff. But I think it's all about, again, intentionality. Like when you're looking, sometimes people just flip to something, and then sometimes people go to like a tried and true verse depending on what's going on. And it's even then you're understanding that, okay, what I'm reading is going to affect my energy, is going to affect my mindset. And so understanding that that is what ultimately you're doing daily, is you're figuring out what is your system to make sure that you have the tools to go through the day and to tackle it to the best of your ability, to do everything in God's will for that day. And a lot of people, that's why they say like the early bird gets the worm, but it's a whole thing. A body in motion stays in motion. It's you're using less amount or muscles to smile than to frown. Like there's so many scientific things that showcase how important it is. And if you have that relationship with God, then it's just that extra push to keep going. It's that extra to make it so that, okay, I have this really big goal. Instead of being paralyzed by fear or never having the quote unquote right time, you're like, I'm going to lean into God to make the time the right time, or to give me the strength to move forward when I can't do it myself. And that's just a very comforting feeling. I saw a quote yesterday that there are two different things that people are interested in when it comes to wanting to do something. Now, it was by Jerry Tolliver be hitting some quotes now. And so this is what she says. She says, there's a vast difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it only when circumstances permit or when you quote unquote feel like it. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. So what are you committed to in 2021? And I had to realize that a lot of the things I want to do, I'm interested in, but I'm not committed. And I had to come back and really figure out what that was. And as you're in business, you realize there's a lot of people that are interested in your services, are interested in what you're trying to do, but they're not committed. And that's the same thing when it comes to having a morning routine or having a deeper relationship with God or anything like that. You may be interested when the stars align and it's the perfect Saturday and you ain't got nothing going on, but are you committed to it when things are crazy and you're going to show up? And so I had to really check myself, have a heart check on what I was committed to versus what I was interested in, and had to shift some things around and take some things off the interested list and move it over to the committed list in 2021. And have that honest relationship and conversation with God. Like, look, this is really what I want from my life. What's going on? Like, how can we move these things over? And when he spoke to me, it was all about consistency. You say that you're interested in having a love life, but do you have time for that? Are you making time each day? You say that you're interested in having new people and connecting with new audiences, but are you committed to going live every day or connecting with people every day? You say you're committed, but have you responded to your clients that are looking for new stuff? Have you sent invoices? Like, these are the things that you will get checked every day when you start having those honest relationships and conversations with yourself and with God, and what that looks like for the two of you guys.
Yeah. So two things I want to touch on there. And yeah, that's so true. And I've been having these conversations with God and he's been telling me obedience. Like, have you been obedient to the thing I told you to do? And a lot of times we're like, Lord, give me strategy. What should I do? What is the next move? Like, where should I walk? Have you done what I told you to do before? So if you haven't done, what I told you to do before, then you don't need to move to the next step. Like you said, you need to be committed to that thing before. And sometimes we're so looking for like chasing that next thing, like what's going to be that next move, what's going to help me blow up. Oh, let me be on Clubhouse every day because I saw somebody else blow up on Clubhouse, so let me do that. Let me be on live every day because I saw someone else do that. No, like, be committed to like you said, what you're going to do before and what God told you to do. And sometimes you have to let go of what you think you want to be in your head and be committed to the vision that God has given you. And I know I definitely struggle with that. And God has instructed me and placed in my heart to minister. And I have trouble keeping that, being disciplined in that, because I'm like, Lord, where I'm going to eat, where I'm going to get my food from ministering. Like, where's my provision going to be from that? Like, I'm an engineer. Like, that's what makes my money. But when we connect to our source and are obedient, then God will provide for us in those seasons. There are ministers who are wealthy. There are online ministers who are wealthy. There are people who are making money off of ministry. There are people who are unapologetically sharing the word of God and still making money. It's a mindset that I'm working on breaking, to think that because I am going to be a minister or minister the word of God, that's going to hurt my increase or whatever. So a lot of times we have to be obedient to what God is, what God told us to originally do, and then we can shift from there. I can do all these other things, but I have to master that first. And another thing you touched on, we have to focus on certain things. We have to watch what's going in our ear gates and our eye gates, like what we're watching and what we're listening to. We think it's all fun and games, but you watching that TV program, you want to find love, but you listen to depressing love songs all day, right? Or you're listening to tragic relationships on TV, and you're thinking that, hey baby, you're thinking that this is the norm, right? And it's not. Like, you have to really, if you want to find love, listen to happy love songs. Yes. Don't put that stuff in your spirit. Watch happy, loving relationships where there's no tragedy before the reward. You know what I'm saying? Like, put that, and that's just not with love songs, but like anything. Like, you're watching, you want to watch Black people, but you're watching Black people be messy on TV all day, women putting each other down, and you're asking God for healthy girlfriend relationships, but all you see is drama on TV. Like, stop. Don't fill that. Don't fill your face with that. And the Philippians face. But Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." So this year, I really want us to focus. Like, even I had to step away yesterday, all the drama that was going on at the Capitol, and I'm sharing stuff, and it's making me mad, and it's raising my blood pressure. What does that benefit me? You know what I'm saying? Me sharing
Literally.
that, the day is going to move on. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect my money. Do you know what I did? I shut down, and I wrote a blog, and I sent an email to my customer list, because that's going to affect me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just getting trapped up in that energy. Some people said they were paralyzed yesterday from watching what was going on. That's fine. Stop watching it.
Yes.
Stop watching it. That's not going to feed my daughter.
That's a trigger. See, and that's what I'm learning as well. Like, these are triggers. Yesterday, I finished my book, uploaded it this morning, and it got published. Like, that's what I do with my energy. Because what I'm learning is that a lot of people don't understand that when something has an effect on you that is not physically right in your face affecting, that's a trigger. And you can choose whether you want to allow this trigger to have more space, or if you want to acknowledge it and say, I'm done having and giving you the attention that you have taken in my headspace or in my mental space, right? Now, some people like that. If you're into that and that's what you like, fine. But if it's coming to a point where it's affecting other areas of your life, that's not okay, right? So a really common trigger is, I don't want to get left out, or I don't want to get forgotten, or I don't want to get taken advantage by my friends, right? And then your friends may be someone that go and do something without you. Now, that's normal for people to go and have separate friend groups or to do things without you all the time, right? But if you feel abandonment issues, if you feel not good enough, if you feel those things, then that will come out as a trigger. That's why you feel like, oh my God, they did one thing without me. They don't like me no more. They like her versus the other. That means that you need to really understand and say, I have the feelings to feel. I'm okay with these. But then, is this normal? And how do I deal with that? If you feel like someone is treating you wrong, speak up calmly, right when it's right there. Hey, I don't like that. Or, hey, can we talk about this? And then move on. Or lean back. Somebody's doing you kind of crazy, or it's a lot of drama, then you can remove yourself a little bit without having to have a conversation and cut people off. You can just, hey, I don't want to involve myself. And then when you guys are both in a calmer space, you can have an honest communication about what was going on. That's the way to deal with it, versus cursing people out or having sub comments or sub posts and all these things. That means that there is an issue with that. And you're saying that it's okay, it didn't bother you, but in reality, we're seeing that it came out in other ways that it does. And it's okay. We all have triggers. I know I've strongly worked on mine this past year, and I'm even aware, and it's coming out that I fixed a lot of things. But yeah, the old me, I would have been online all day, sharing all the articles, having all the think pieces, debating, having the whole day go by. The new me was like, okay, I'm aware. I've seen some stuff. I'm gonna come back. Came back, saw some memes, made a little laughs, digged a little deeper, read a little think pieces, saw some articles, called my dad so I can get the real. We talked, and then I was done with it for the day. It literally maybe took out an hour of my time. Then I hopped on Clubhouse, and then we talked about just other things. We talked about it with a little bit, but more so like, okay, how did college prepare you for this? How does your first job prepare you for times such as this? Do you feel prepared? Do you not feel prepared? So it was related, but not so much. Left and felt good about the day. Went to sleep, slept good. That means that I'm not triggered anymore. The old me, I would have been up at 3 a.m. looking to see who commented, looking to see what's next, and all types of stuff. And that is, again, I get it. And it's a journey. But I learned that my zone of genius, or my purpose, or what my God-given purpose is I do better when I work within my brand, or when I take care of me. that's my purpose. My purpose is not to be an internet activist. And therefore that that it's not it's that's not my purpose, and it took a while to get there because I thought that maybe I was going down that path a little bit, but it's too much for me, and I had to realize that all that drama, all that just messiness and whatever was seeping to other areas of my life without me even knowing. And
Absolutely.
I had,
Absolutely.
yeah, and it was a really big eye-opening moment for me.
Mhm.
And I'm able to now guide. No, I really what I'm doing now, that's positivity all around, and I see other areas of my life benefited from
Mhm.
it. And even the content, right? I think that after a day such as yesterday, having this really great, open, candid conversation full of transparency is what the world needed. Is definitely what I needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on something about friendships and handling friendships and people who aren't treating you well. And the thing is, like, we are so quick, and we've said this before, to cut off girlfriends who we think did us wrong. But we will give men, or men we're dating, 1,000,001 chances. And the thing is, part of the glow up is learning how to handle conflict with girlfriends and still remaining friends. And not saying that you don't keep being friends with everyone. That's not the case. But like you're saying, discussing in the moment, I don't like how they went down. Not going telling everybody else what the problem is and not discussing it with them. And not saying that I've been the master at this forever. I haven't, because I'm very non-confrontational. So I'll go, complain to somebody else and not tell the other person, but discuss it in the moment. Or if you can't, saying, hey, I don't want to talk about this right now. Can we talk about this later? And then when you talk about it later, that they are able to have a healthy dialogue. Now, if you continually tell that person that you don't like this and they continue to do it and it doesn't make you feel right, now that's time where you need to reevaluate the relationship, because they're not respecting your boundaries and you don't feel good. Honestly, if you don't feel good most of the time in a relationship, you need to think about it. Like why do I not feel good? And even if I've realized, even if it's your fault you don't feel good and there's something going on with you, why keep putting yourself in a situation that's not making you feel good? And then take that time to reevaluate why you're not feeling good in that relationship. But definitely, and then with men, stop giving men 1,000,000 chances. Tell them what the problem is. Don't keep it up. Don't keep it inside. Don't bottle up and tell your girlfriends. And same thing. If they don't change or want to change, it's literally billions of men in the world. Literally billions of men in the world. And we need to start surrounding ourselves with energy that uplifts us. And we need to be that uplifting energy as well. It says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. We need to make sure that we're that good thing, that we're helping him glow up, So just surround yourself with people who are uplifting you and cheering for you and making sure that you bring that same energy.
I agree. So tell me a little bit about the Godly Glow Up Challenge that's happening. So what does that look like? What's happening? How can people get involved? You're on mute.
Yeah, absolutely. I just go on mute because she's singing, but yeah, absolutely. So we're having a 5-day challenge, and people have been so blessed by this challenge. We've been doing it for about 2 years. But daily journaling, daily meditation, daily prayer prompts, and daily smoothies. And why do I do the smoothies? Because a lot of people don't eat breakfast in the morning, or they eat a garbage breakfast in the morning. And the thing is, after you fill your spirit with all that, you need to fill your body with something that's nourishing your body as well, and that will fuel you in the morning. So it's just a challenge to really honestly develop a morning habit that's focused on God. And I promise you that you will be so much, your stress, you'll feel stressed, you'll feel more happy, you'll feel, different. You'll just feel your life, make a change after that 5 days. And I'll put the link in the comments after we finish the recording. So yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Okay. So for people that are like, okay, 2021 has to be different. Like for me, what would you say is like the first step of really making things different? Um, what is the first thing that you were like, you know what, this is maybe last year was your breakthrough year, or maybe this year you're saying things are going to be different. What are some things that you're doing, or the first step? People that are like, I'm really new to this and I don't know where to go.
I think I had a breakthrough a few weeks ago, and this is me. I can't talk for anyone, but a lot of people are joining programs, courses, accountability groups. And if you're finding yourself joining all of that stuff and still not making a lot of progress, the reason is not strategy. It's not that you need a new strategy or anything. It's either one or two things, or they might be intertwined. Either you lack discipline, or there's some deeper psychological block or issue that is preventing you from having that discipline. So a lot of people are looking for business strategy when they need therapy.
Mm.
You're letting resentment or hurt or grief or or a lot of other things block you from doing what you need to do. And I was just realizing, even for me, like I have ADD. I already have a problem with discipline. But recently, I had a lot of stuff going on this year. Like I lost my mom, I lost two of my aunts, I lost my godmother. Then COVID happened, and I became a single mother. That's a lot within the span of a year to happen. And I'm like, man, why can't I like break through and do this? A lot of time we're being hard on ourselves. I never processed that grief.
Mm.
Of losing my mom. I've never processed the grief of becoming a single mom. You know what I'm saying? I never processed the resentment from becoming a single mom or losing my mother not being here as I have my baby. And that grief and resentment can paralyze you. And we think it's something else, or like, oh, you just need a discipline or a habit book or whatever. You need to work through in therapy. Let that go, because if you don't let it go, I would say, oh, I'm not bitter. I'm over it. Like my mom is a better place. It's okay that I'm a single mom, like whatever. And I was lying to myself. And so I think doing guided meditations through that, going to therapy, going through coaching, and working through that is the next step to blow out. So 2021, let's not look for, some of you all need strategy. Let me not say that. But some of you all, if you're getting all this strategy and it's still not working, there's a deeper identifying what's that deeper reason there.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think people, we toss the word mindset or mental health around, but we don't really understand that they kind of go hand in hand to a certain extent, right? When you don't know anything, or you don't know what you don't know and how to like build a business or do a website, like no mental capacity is going to help you. That's a technical issue. But once you've gotten the training, or you know, or you're ready for the next step, there are things that paralyze you, or situations. Like I know for me, last year around this time, I was getting ready to move out of my parents' house, and I was able to just be by myself again. And I'm in a place that's like beautifully created. It looks like a Instagram like place, but it is creative, and it allowed me to be creative to another level, right? And so I don't knock, I acknowledge that my change in surroundings and my space to just kind of be alone helped me to get to the next level. It also allowed me to have that quiet time for real and deal with my own stuff. And we don't combine or put both of them together. Like a lot of times people are so busy that you don't have time to deal with your own stuff. And COVID, at least for me, allowed me to sit down and deal with my stuff. And then I was by myself and I was in a safe space that it was here. Now everything is streamlined and we're good to go. But I too went to therapy to understand what I was holding on to. And then now I'm in courses that deal with the love stuff, right? That's that mental stuff. That's that abundance mindset. That's how you think of yourself. A lot of it has to deal with, before we even get to how and what we accept from other people, And I just had to deal with some of that. Some of that stuff I just never dealt with at all, and that was just like, oh, it's real quick, right? I don't want people think like, oh my god, it's going to take years. I think it's just dealing with stuff that you didn't know you need to deal with.
Yeah.
And
Some people think they need to deal with that before they can do that stuff. I don't think that's the case. You deal with that at the same time. You can't be
wild.
paralyzed dealing with that because you're always going to be dealing with that stuff. But yeah,
It's life. Life
yeah,
is hard and different things happen. So yeah, I agree. That's another thing. Don't do one or the other, do them together so that you can definitely see what's going on. Like now I see so many ways that like, oh, okay, I used to do this. This is probably not the right way to do certain things. Dealing with men, dealing with women, dealing with clients, and dealing with business because I'm actually trying it out. Other than that, you'll be like, sometimes y'all have these really great professors, but they've never done anything but just at school. So it's like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but it's all theory. And then you'll have other people that maybe not as so polished, but they're giving you all these gems because they've been through it and they know it works.
right.
You want to be in the middle. You want to definitely have the people like what is through theory and research, but you want to have real life experiences, and that allows you to be a better person. That allows me to have the confidence to talk to you guys about my experiences because I've done both and I've lived it. There was a real pivot, and I'm showcasing. If there's an issue that you feel like I need time or to think, you may need to go and book an Airbnb for a week so that you can, because there is an area issue when you have so many, when you're not by yourself and you need time to be by yourself sometimes to go through your own stuff.
You
And
will
maybe
only, yeah.
you
You will only grow as much, and like I think Ford said this, but you will only grow as much as you develop personally. Like you need to develop personally, mentally, because when you develop mentally and personally, that discipline will come, that follow through will come. Your mindset, your believing bigger will come. So you will only go as far as you develop personally. So I want everybody to work more on their personal development than they do on their business development, and that business development or that career development, I think, will follow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I see so many things happening throughout my entire kind of life because I really worked on my mindset. Like I was saying to one of my friends, like even my girlfriends are nicer to me now or doing more things to me just because or supporting. And it's because of the intentionality and the mindset shift that I've had. So, hi, Michelle. Michelle has joined the chat. She wanted
Yeah.
to, hey, girl. But people think it's if I work on this for just business, it's just gonna help for business. Like, no, it helps all over because as your business grows, so does your network. And your network is your net worth. Like it all coincides together. Um, yeah, and as you grow, you can connect with more people. As you connect with more people, that's more people that you know, that's more opportunities that are on your table, that's more people thinking of you. It's all together. And that's one of the things that I think we want to drive home. Like it's all together, but don't wait until the right time. There is no right time. The right time is now. This is it. This is
Now,
your
I
warning.
mean, this should have taught us like life is not promised. Our life is not promised, and do what God told you to do and do what your purpose is on earth. You want to leave this world empty because you've given all that you were supposed to give, you can't take it with you. So, and the last thing I want to leave with, there's a parable of the talents, and we always know that. And the Lord gave certain talents. You gonna say hi, baby? Gave certain talents to certain people. He gave 5, 3, and 2, or 5, 3, and 1, something like that. But anyway, the Lord came back and said, so where's my money? Give me my money back. And the first person, he multiplied it 3 times. The second person multiplied it 2 times. And to both those people, he said, well done, good and faithful servant. I'm going to give this back to you. And the last person said, I hid it. I didn't do anything with it because I thought you were ungrateful. And that says a lot about his mindset and what he thought about the Lord and his father. The good people, they multiplied their talents. And God, that's what God calls us to do. We need to use and multiply what he's given us for more.
Yeah.
He says that if we're just putting it in and not using it, that he calls that last servant evil. like like you didn't do what you need to do. So my word of the year is multiply. Lord, let me multiply the talents that you've given me and the impact, so that might impact others to do what they're supposed to do.
I love it. I love it. Well, this was a great conversation. We've been chatting for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It went by really fast, but thank you so much. Again, you can contact Maisha, the Godly Glow Up. We're going to post it on the comments below, and you can definitely join that. You can also feel free to connect with her. And yes, this was so fun. This was so great. Thank you so much for joining. We'll definitely do it again.
Thank you
And
for having me.
everyone, Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you
Same to
later.
you. Have a good one. Bye. Say bye, baby.